You betcha. What, geez? Well, if it ain't entertain this, don't you know? We're doing a podcast. I can't do it anymore.
God, the accent just gets on my nerves.
It does. It does, but it's kind of funny. Anyway, what we're entertain this podcast about movies, TV shows, and video games. My name is Tom. With me, I have
Mitch.
And my name is Hayden. And on this episode, we're doing a review of the 1996 film Fargo.
Yay.
Yeah. I don't know why I'm going, yeah, it was my suggestion.
Yeah, it was your suggestion.
I threw out several films.
And I'd only seen bits and pieces of this, and then the other one you had mentioned as well, but I didn't like it any better when I sat down and watched the whole thing.
We need to do like this just 90s Steve Buscemi movies.
He's probably like the best character in the whole movie, at least to me. Like he was
Yeah.
the most entertaining to watch.
Yes, he was. But before we get into Fargo, social media. Hayden.
I don't have that one anymore.
Mitch.
Well, you can go to @entertainthis_ on X, Instagram, and TikTok, or on YouTube, you can go to entertainthis59.
Those places.
Yeah.
Those things. Check us out. You're not going to, but we say it.
You will.
You can comment. You can like something.
Or, you can always share this with like friends and family. Give us 5
Strangers.
stars or subscribe and follow on all the like Spotify and
I mean, Hayden's been writing
iTunes.
hashtag entertain this in men's rooms all over Georgia.
just leave his phone number for a good time. Listen to this
Be here. Listen at 2:15 a.m.
for manly love.
for a manly podcast.
We should start doing that for a manly podcast. Just listen here. Just write it everywhere. All those like gas station bathroom stalls. Yeah, let's start doing that.
And then they'll be like, who does the show? Oh, these guys. You're the ones who've been defacing property.
Okay, it was Hayden.
It was Hayden's idea. Well, no, we can't let him write it. No one can read his handwriting but
True. But they'll never guess who it is.
No, because it's like whoever wrote this, clearly English is not their first or second language.
Cyan Death Pork.
Death pork. It's like, what is that? Cyan Death Pork? Cyberpunk. Not even close. Don't you know?
It was like Ebonics.
Hieroglyphics
What you call
and
it?
made up languages and orc.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
Fargo, the 1996 black comedy crime film, written, directed, produced, and edited by Joel and Ethan Coen, who you might know as the Coen Brothers, starring Frances McDormand, William H. Macy, Steve Buscemi, Harve Presnell, and Peter Stormare, the Russian guy who's in everything. I don't even think he's Russian.
Probably not.
I think they just get him to play that character.
He does a good accent for it though, because he was the Russian in Armageddon. He's also the Russian guy in John Wick movies.
In John Wick 2,
The Baba Yaga.
he's the German guy in The Lost World who gets eaten by all the little compies.
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. Yeah,
I think he plays Satan in
and
Constantine.
Constantine. Yeah.
He's all over.
Uh-huh.
You'll see him. You know who we're talking about. McDormand plays Police Chief Marge Gunderson. Marge. Yes, it's Marge. Who investigates after a car salesman, Jerry Lundegaard, played by William H. Macy. He hires 2 dim-witted criminals to kidnap his wife to extort a ransom from her wealthy father.
William H. Macy.
He
plays Jerry, and he reminds me of Jerry from Rick and Morty.
Yes, like it was modeled.
Yeah.
And a little backstory: William H. Macy wasn't even their pick to play Jerry.
Who are they going to choose?
They hadn't picked somebody. Like William H. Macy read for another part, and then he heard about the Jerry part, and he's like, "No, I need to do this guy." Like he just knew like I'm that one. He's like, I can play that guy, and like he showed up at the Coen Brothers house or something. And I was like, you're insulting me by looking for another actor. Like, I'm the dude you need. Like, I'm that guy. Like, it's like, you don't make a mistake and hire somebody else. But apparently a lot of other people read for this movie.
Look, before we get too far, I'll just say I liked the plot and the actors weren't bad. I just didn't like the movie. I know that doesn't make sense, but I don't know. I got bored and thought it was kind of dumb at times, but
it drags at some points.
I mean, like I said, the actors did great in their roles, and I understand the plot. I don't know, the way it all felt together, it just was boring to me.
In 1987, Jerry Lundegaard is the executive sales manager of a Minneapolis car dealership owned by his father-in-law, Wade Gustafson. Desperate for money, he plans to have his wife, Jean, kidnapped. On the recommendation of dealership mechanic and parolee Shep Proudfoot, Jerry meets with Gare Grimsrud and Carl Showalter at a bar in Fargo, North Dakota. Gare, I can't, it's Gaear. Yeah. That's not a name, it's a sound effect. And Carl agree to kidnap Jean in exchange for a new Oldsmobile Cutlass Sierra and half of the $80,000 ransom Jerry intends to extort from Wade.
So, first question I have, was this based on a true story?
No.
Okay.
So the title card shows this is based on a true event, like the names have been changed.
Okay.
To like protect the identities of like the victims and like the innocent, like like Law and Order kind of thing. It's not based on anything.
Okay, that was because I saw that and I was like,
thought it was based on this or this one, like something that happened in North Dakota or something that happened in Minnesota or like Wisconsin. There was like the Coen Brothers would just keep getting asked about it, and then they're just like, no, it's not based on anything. Like they just put that because it's like now you think this is real,
right? Like, I was like, I'm pretty sure I would have heard about this if it actually was based on a true story.
It's pretty funny, like artistic license to do it. Like just like this is based on a true story. And then it's like, is it though? Like you're just watching, it's just like, huh.
I mean, I'm sure somebody's paid somebody to kidnap their wife. I'm sure that's happened.
Because there's like two real life incidents. There's one where I don't even think they managed to kidnap her.
Well, I know there's one where a wife paid some people to kill her husband.
Yeah, and then there's the dude that killed his wife by putting her through a wood chipper.
Yeah.
I think that was in like Connecticut though. As I recall, because he shows up and he just looks like a dork. William H. Like I believe he's that guy.
Yeah, he's not the guy that's going to get his hand
and they're
dirty
like,
anyway.
You're late, and he's like, oh, geez, it's like Shep told me 9. And he's like, no, it was 8. He's like, he must have just got miscommunicated.
The second thing I wrote down straight from the beginning is Buscemi plays a great sleazeball in everything he's in.
He looks like a sleaze, and it's so funny because he used to be a New York City firefighter. Yeah. And it's just like, but he looked like every time they describe him in the movies, and like a weird guy. Mm-hmm. It's like Weird House. Like he's just weird. Like it's just weird. Like it's like, and if you see Steve Buscemi, you're just like, yeah, I get it. I understand now your description. But
I like how it's like a mechanic at Jerry's shop knows these like trained kidnappers and killers.
They're not trained. They're idiots.
Well, the one of them, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He's a bad guy, but he knows what he's doing.
Yeah, he kills 5 people in this movie.
And the whole time, I think...
He kills everybody in this movie.
Well, yeah, Buscemi...
No, except for... No, Steve Buscemi kills one person.
Well, Buscemi, he's like, don't... I don't know if we should do this. I got this covered. He's just trying to, like, smooth everything out.
Because he doesn't shut up.
Yeah. And then Peter Stormare's guy just, like, kills everyone that come across.
So they agree to pay him, and then we get, like, the business meeting. Mm-hmm. Where, believing he has secured a $750,000 loan from Wade for a lucrative real estate deal, Jerry unsuccessfully tries to call off the kidnapping. Wade and his accountant, Stan Grossman, inform Jerry that Wade will handle the deal himself, offering Jerry only a modest finder's fee. Because at first I'm like, why do you need money?
Right.
And then it's like to build like a parking lot that's like supposed to be in like a good spot.
I still don't understand why he would need that much money and why he would want to build a parking lot. I mean, I know he's like a car salesman, but
yeah. But it's like it's such a Jerry thing that he does this, brings it to his dad, or to his father-in-law, and Stan Grossman, because it's like everyone has to say their full name in this movie. I don't get it. But they're like having the meeting and they're just like, hey, like this is a great deal. Like, this is going to pay out. Like this is going to be awesome. And he's like, yeah, I know. And they're like, all right, so what's your fee? And he's like, what? He's like, no, you're going to give me the money so I can do this. It's like, what? We're not a bank. Well, and like they just basically like he like argues himself out of the finder's fee. Yeah. And then they're just like, hey, don't feel bad, but we're going to run with this.
Yeah. He's like, you mind? We're just going to take this with us. Here you go. Just leave this here when you leave.
Yeah. Like basically just like ruins him.
Yeah. He basically just took all his information and now he gets nothing. So,
which is like, I believe that happens to William H. Macy.
Yes.
Like I could, it's just, he is Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, because everything he is in, he's like very.
He's not an action guy.
No, he's just
except in what's the movie where he's like the shoveler?
Shoveler.
Yeah, it's him, the guy who.
Oh, Mystery Men?
Yeah, Mystery Men.
It's a comedy, though. It's him and Ben Stiller. They're not
the
really
bowling ball guy.
It's they're not really action there either. It's just kind of like comedic, buffoonery.
We should do that movie. That sounds like a better movie. So they try to. He gets swindled out of his own deal, but even his concept of how he would like. Why would I ask you for the money so I could go do this to pay you back when you could go do it and make all the money?
Yeah. Well,
like you're adding extra unnecessary steps and I'm losing money doing this.
Any common sense would tell you, though, don't give them all the information before you've worked out the deal. Because now they have the information. You don't have a deal. They don't need you anymore. Because
even with his jerk of its father-in-law, where he's like, I could really use this money. And he's like, it would be great for, Gene and his son. And he's like, they'll never have to worry. It's like, you will, not them. It's like, I'll hang you out to dry, Jerry Lundegaard.
Well, and then like when the kidnappers come to get the wife, she just like sits there on the sofa.
She's sitting watching Steve Buscemi look through the window and she's just like staring at him gaping. And then he breaks it and then she like gets up. Oh, what? She takes, you betcha. And she takes off running and breaks down the other one. Then she manages to like get away from him.
Yeah.
Gets upstairs and kind of pulls a fast one because she opens the window.
Yeah.
And then hides in the shower. And he like, Steve Buscemi's like, oh crap. And he like runs out.
There's a chair there.
There's a chair there. I just smacked my hand into. My hand, it's broken. I can't podcast. How will I go on? So he runs out, and then because Gare cut himself.
Well, then he starts going through the medicine cabinet,
and he's like, I need a coagulant, and he's like going up, like cleaning, and like he just like looks up at the shower curtain because I think you heard a drip or something.
Yeah,
and he's like. And then she like comes running out with the shower curtain on her head, and she's just bumping into stuff and falls down the stairs.
Yeah, knocks herself out.
I think they thought like they killed her. Anyway, they kidnap her, throw her in the back of their trunk in their free '87 Cutlass Sierra.
Yeah,
and take off for Moose Lake at a cabin, and they get pulled over by a state trooper near Brainerd for not displaying temporary registration tags. And Steve Buscemi's like, I got this. Like, because she's not even in the trunk. She's in the back seat.
Right. She's just sitting there.
And the most talking Peter Stormare does is telling her to shut the F up multiple times in the movie. Or asking about pancakes.
Yeah.
The man likes pancakes.
Well, what I thought was hilarious is when the guy comes up, Peter Stormare's character just pulls the gun and shoots him in the face. And Buscemi's character just like, oh, daddy.
Because he tries to bribe the cop, and he pulls out his wallet and he sees like, and he has like a 50 conspicuously out. Like he's like, and the cop's like, oh, what's that you got there? He's like, it's my license and registration. He's like, it would be great if we could just get this taken care of quickly.
But the bad part is he says that like 3 times as he's trying to hand him his wallet.
Yeah, I know. And then the trooper's like, why don't you go ahead and step out of the car for me, please? And then like as he like goes to they hear the whimpering, and Peter Stormare like grabs the trooper and like pins him against the door, shoots him in the top of the head,
and blood goes
everywhere. And Steve Buscemi's like, "Oh, Dad!"
I was like, that's a strange choice of words in that moment.
I know. It's like, I don't think I'd be going, "Oh, Daddy." He says it like 4 times. And then Peter Stormare's like, all right, he's like, get him out of here. And he's like dragging him away, and they see the headlights, and he's still like slowly dragging the guy. And I'm like, I would have like tried, like I would have thrown him down the ditch, grabbed the trooper hat, and sat in the car.
Yeah. Something. I mean, like you see him coming. He had time. The headlights were clearly visible from a distance.
Yes. So then 2 witnesses go by.
Like 2 teenagers. They look like teenagers. I don't know if
they
were.
I don't know if they were, but they're like, they look at them and like look at Peter Stormare, and he's just staring at him. Then they look at Steve Buscemi holding the trooper shot in the head, and they guns it.
Yeah.
And Peter Stormare's like, gets in the car and takes off after him.
And then they crash themselves.
I know. It's a straight line.
Yeah.
Because he's chasing him and then like the taillights disappear and then he like rolls up and he sees them in the ditch.
Yeah.
And the dude takes off and he lets him get like a distance and then he shoots him.
But the whole thing to me, like a lot of stuff in this movie is just like, oh, it just happenstance. Oh, look at there, you know.
Oh, jeez.
But yeah, he takes off running, shoots him in the back, and then the girl's down there still stuck in the car and he just leans down and shoots her.
Yeah.
It's like, geez, what a guy. What a guy.
Brainerd Police Chief Marge Gunderson, don't you know, who's 7 months pregnant. She's carrying quite a load.
I'll be honest, until towards the end of the movie, I didn't realize she was pregnant. I wasn't paying enough attention. I thought she was just wearing a big coat.
I mean, it's cold up there. She does have a big coat. Because she wakes up, she's like, this is Marge.
Yeah.
I don't get like their politeness.
The accents really got on my nerves the whole movie. Like it bothered me.
So she gets ready. The one dude who's in like everything too. Isn't like Carol Lynch or something is his name?
I can't remember, but I know who you're talking about. The bald guy that's her husband. Boyfriend or husband.
It's her husband. He's like, I'll make you breakfast. Because it's like 3 o'clock in the morning. She comes back in the house and she goes, hey, Norm, the prowler won't start, needs a jump. I know your accents, you don't like them.
But like what kills me is like when the kidnappers, they get the wife back to their hideout or whatever, she's still got like the shower curtain on her head when they're
she takes off like running and she's like, whoa! She's not even like bumping into anything. She's like freaking herself.
Yeah, she's just like wandering through the snow and they're just standing there watching her like
Steve Buscemi's just laughing at her. Which is pretty funny. So Marge goes out to the crime scene, begins investigating, and she correctly deduces that the dead trooper was ticketing a car with dealer plates because the guy's like, we're running every plate. It comes with DLR. And she goes, oh, she's like, I think you might want to double check your police work. She's like, DLR might be dealer tag. He's like, oh. Like, are they idiots?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, Marge, she's got the easiest detective job ever because she just gets information. Like, it's just like falls in her lap the whole time.
I think what's funny is it's a 7-month pregnant woman.
Yeah.
Who's the detective star. It's not some like salty, grizzled, handsome guy.
Well, I mean, we'll get to it throughout the review here, but she just happens to run into the one guy that's doing everything. Mm-hmm. She happens to know that, the information specifically on his vehicles. She happens to just drive by their vehicle later. Then she just gets all the information. She just knows what happens when she shows up at the crime scene.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's like talking through it. It's just like the one guy ran and he's shot in the back, and then she looks at her, at the female victim, and she's like, "Oh, she got shot through the hand and the face." She's like, "I call that a defensive wound."
Well, there was a part where like it didn't really matter for the rest of the movie, but she runs into like the Asian creeper guy that's like pretend like he's some kind of big shot.
Yeah, but he's like crazy, like living with his parents now.
Yeah. But he was acting like he's some kind of big CEO or something like that, or stockbroker or something.
Yeah, because he like calls her at like 10. We'll get to that. Correctly deduces to dealer plates. She later learns that the 2 men driving a dealership vehicle checked into a nearby motel with 2 call girls and placed a call to Shep. Because they go to get laid.
Yeah, and just like cuts to that scene. It's like, whoa!
It's like they're banging in separate beds, and then it
side
cuts,
by side.
I know, and like Steve Buscemi's like looking over at him, like, like, dude, like, what are you doing? And then it cuts to them like both in, like they're all in bed, and they're just watching like the Tonight Show.
Yeah. Like I mean, look, I know I'm not the best looking guy, but how does Buscemi and Peter Stormare just show up at a place and get women like that?
He's like, I know a place where we can get laid. He's like, I want pancakes. He's like, we get some. He's like, I want like steak. He's like, pancakes.
Yeah, it was. It surprised me because like I was watching, my wife was sitting there and she was like, "What are you?" Because she walked in probably 10 minutes before. And then that scene popped up, and she's like, "What are you watching?"
You're like, "It's part of the movie. I don't know." Tom made me do it.
Yeah.
Bunch of girls going, "Oh yeah, oh yeah, you betcha." Let's see. Marge visits Wade's shop because she goes. She goes to to the dealership. Shep acts like he has no idea who she's talking about. And she's like, oh, you live alone? She's like, well, who's calling at 3:45 in the morning? He's like, I think I'd remember. Someone called and woke me up out of sleep.
Sorry.
But just like grilling him, and he like just disappears.
Yeah.
Until later where he beats the crap out of Steve Buscemi.
Oh, yeah. Like he wears him out with that belt. I was like, could you, I mean.
That was a beating. That was a whooping.
It was just like continuous. What?
And he's just like saying curse words. Like he's like cursing him out, but like just swearing at the same time. Like it doesn't make sense, but it's funny. Dude, and then Jerry nervously insists that there's no cars missing.
Yeah. She walks in and she's like, no, he's like, ma'am, I swear I know if there was a car missing off my lot. It's like, dude, just give it up. You're the most suspicious person here.
He was acting sus.
And then he's like, hold on, I'll be right back. And then he gets in his car and just drives away.
And drives by the window of the office she's in. She's like, oh, he's running. And she's like, and she grabs the phone. She's like, oh, how do I get an outside line? Hello? Excuse me. Jerry tells Wade the kidnappers have demanded $1 million and will deal only through him. In light of the 3 murders, Carl demands that Jerry hand over the $80,000 he believes is the entire ransom. Shep finds Carl. Oh, okay, so we got to skip up. Mm-hmm. Where he's like practicing what to say, and he's like rehearsing it, and then he calls, and he's like, Wade. He goes, yeah, Wade Gustafson, please. All right, thank you. And he's just like standing there waiting for it to happen. He's like, jeez, wait. Because he like comes home and like sees it's like everything's gone. I'm just like, man, like do you even like your wife? Like,
it makes you wonder, right? Because I mean, they have a kid together, and it's like you would think the kid would notice that he's not really all that torn up that she's gone. So I don't know. It just
maybe her annoying accent. He was like, oh, thank God. Because when she was like making like dinner or something. And she's just like, oh, yeah, I get him on the phone here in a jiffy. And I'm just like, that's annoying to listen to.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just didn't. I was like, she kind of, I don't mind her gone. Yeah. I didn't mind that she was gone.
We got some peace and quiet around here. Tells Stan Grossman and Wade that they'll only deal through him, and they buy it.
Well, he was just kind of like, no,
because Wade's like, they didn't want to call the cops. He wants to call like a pro or something to like find him and kill him or something.
Well, I mean, the stepdad, he was just like, no, I'll take the money. No, I'm gonna do it. And the whole time, Jerry's like, no, they said just me. And the stepdad's like, no, it's gotta be me.
He was a jerk.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of needed to go too, but because he ends up driving and meeting Buscemi's character on the top of like this parking garage in the snow.
The parking in this movie, because you never see lines. It's just snow-covered spots and people just parking wherever.
Yeah.
And you're just like, what are you guys doing? Like where Jerry leaves the meeting and they show him walking all the way across his parking lot to his car. And I'm like, why don't you park closer?
They didn't want to get his door dinged or nothing.
It's been, and then he's like scraping the window, and he's like, God damn it! And he's like, and he picks it back up, and goes back to scraping, scrapey.
But like when the father-in-law shows up to Buscemi to trade money or whatever, I can't remember. He pulls out a gun, doesn't he?
Yeah, like because he's driving. Because like when he calls and angrily demands the money, Wade like grabs the briefcase full of money, like puts his hat on, and he's like, "I'm going." Yeah. And he's in the car like rehearsing what he's gonna say when he gets there. And he pulls out the revolver, and he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "You don't mess with Wade Gustafson." And like I love how he rocks the cylinder back into the revolver, but he's angled up, and I'm like, the shells would have fell out if they were in there. And I'm like,
well, I like how in the whole movie nobody really seemed to care that the daughter was gone. They just wanted to make a point that they were the tough guy.
Yeah, because like nobody really cared. Gene got kidnapped.
Well, because like
except the kid.
Yeah, because Jerry he orchestrated it all, and then he's practicing his lines. Well, then her father-in-law or her father, instead of worrying about getting her back, he's worried about what he's going to say and trying to be, sound tough or whatever. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He just
no Gene, no money. Doing this whole thing in the car.
Yeah, and then he gets shot.
And then because he pulls up, Steve Buscemi crashes out. He's like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
He's like, "What is with you people?" He's like, "I gave simple instructions."
Well, 'cause he gets out, and then Buscemi does his freak out, and that's when Wade pulls out his gun, and he's like, "Give me my daughter," and then Buscemi proceeds to shoot him.
Yeah, he shoots him. Wade shoots him and like clips him across the jaw.
Yeah,
and then Steve Buscemi just starts blasting him.
Dude, he lit him. He shot him with every shot he had.
Oh yeah, he mag dumped him after that. I mean, I would. I'd be really mad. I'd be emotional.
But so the rest of the movie, Buscemi's just holding his face the whole time.
Yeah. He's yelling at. Yeah, he's like, I got shot in the face, which is funny. And then he kills the garage attendant on the way out. Because the garage attendant earlier, where he pulls up, steals the plates of another car to put on his car, and then he's like, "Hey," he's like, "I'm not going to park here." And the guy's like, "Oh, it's a $4 minimum." He's like, "I know, but I'm leaving. Like, I haven't even parked."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Oh, it's just." He's like, "You feel like you're like an authority figure?" he's like, just starts messing with him, and he starts cursing him out.
Well, and then when Jerry visits,
Jerry goes to the crime scene and sees like the gates busted out, and then he sees like the parking attendant got shot. He's like, oh, jeez.
And then Buscemi, he takes the briefcase. He takes out just the money that he's going to give to his partner. Sorry, I got the hiccups now. Mm-hmm. But he buries
in the snow next to a fence, like on the road.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was like, he's like looking both directions. And it's just the same.
And he only buried it in the snow. He didn't bury it underground. So if the snow melts,
let's be that snow wasn't melting anytime soon.
Well, I'm just saying, if the snow melts, everybody's going to see it. He stuck a red handle.
Ice scraper.
Yeah. Well, if it snows, that's going to be covered up. You're never going to see that. So that money's just gone.
That was stupid what he did.
Yeah.
Should have just left it in the car.
Yeah.
Because I was like, that's damn you, Steve Buscemi. Did we miss the part where we did miss the part where he gets the crap beat out of him by Shep?
No. Jerry gets beat up by Shep.
Yeah, no. Carl gets beat up by Shep.
Oh, he does? I missed that part.
Oh, yeah, we missed it. Shep finds Carl with a call girl in Shep's Minneapolis apartment and beats him in retaliation for bringing Shep to the police's attention. Because he's out on a date with that rough-looking broad.
I missed that one.
Because they end up banging. And she's like, it's like another like cut scene where it's like you see like her from the back and she's just like riding him. And she's like, oh yeah, jingle those bells. And, and Rachel's like, what? like, oh yeah, had to stuff my face with Pepperidge Farms.
Oh, that is right. Because it's just them.
Because then Shep shows up, grabs the girl, like rips her off of him, and then just starts beating the crap out of Steve Buscemi.
Yeah. Because I remember seeing him huddled like.
Because the girl's like running away and he kicks her in the butt as she's going down the hallway screaming.
Yeah. I remember that now. Yeah.
And he's just cursing out Steve Buscemi, like kicking him and punching him. And then he pulls his belt out and just starts hitting him.
Yeah. Well, because I thought he beat up Jerry too, didn't he?
No, he doesn't beat up Jerry.
Okay, no. Okay. Well, then that is the one I remember. I remember beating him with the belt. Yeah.
Just cursing him out. That was a good beating. Anyway, now back to the present. Carl finds Jerry sees it all. On the way to Moose Lake, Carl discovers the briefcase contains $1 million. He takes $80,000 to split with Gare, buries the rest in the snow, which was stupid, as we've discussed.
Yes.
Marge returns to Wade's dealership, where an agitated Jerry again insists no cars are missing and tells Marge he will double check the inventory himself. And then Marge sees Jerry driving off the lot and calls the state police.
Yeah.
Because he's like fudging the number, like the VIN numbers.
Yeah, because he like deliberately writes them to where they can't read them.
Yeah, because the guy calls me. He's like, you're a hard man to get a hold of, Mr. Lundegaard. He's like, I just can't read them. He's like, oh, I'll send him a fax over. He's like, no good. That's what we did last time. Can't make out the numbers. And then it's like, I guess like they gave him a loan.
Yeah.
But for like what I still don't get, like, you need the money for this parking lot. Like, is that what he did this time?
I don't know.
I don't know what Jerry had really going on. Jerry was doing a lot. So he questions, he gets mad. He's like, I'm cooperating with you.
Yeah.
Which he's not.
Yeah, exactly. He's just like trying to beat around the bush and like lead her anywhere else but towards him. But.
Yeah. And then he's like, I'll go check it myself. And he goes out. And then she's just sitting there like looking around. She's like looking at his desk. And then she just looks and he drives right by. She's like, oh, he's running there.
And then it goes back to Buscemi returning to
Yes, at
Peter.
the cabin, Carl finds that Gare killed Jean because she would not stay quiet.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. I didn't know, did she die or did he just knock her out again?
No, he killed her.
Okay.
Because she wouldn't shut up.
Yeah, I believe that.
Carl says they should split up and leave immediately, and they argue over who will keep the Sierra.
Was it Gare?
Gare.
He's just like, what was it? He was watching cartoons or something while he's eating cereal. And then Buscemi's like, no, I'm keeping the car. I got shot. It's like, yeah, well, he kind of has a point. Although he is, doesn't know he's hiding the other money, but.
Yeah, it's like, hey, Steve Buscemi drove the entire time.
Yeah. And he got shot.
And he got shot.
All you did was stay here.
And he went and got the money.
Yeah. You stayed here with the kidnapped woman and then killed her.
Now, granted, Steve Buscemi should have understood that Gare has killed 3 people.
Yes.
Well, 4 at this point now.
Without hesitating.
Yeah. He's killed a state trooper, 2 witnesses,
yeah,
and the woman they kidnapped. And he loves pancakes.
Yeah.
And you're going to tell him, like, you're going to talk off to that guy? It's like, you might just want to let him take the Sierra.
But I like how when he walks out of the house, like he walks a good 10 feet, and then all of a sudden you see
Peter Stormare comes out in long johns with gloves and like a Russian puffy hat on and a huge axe.
Well, I like how Buscemi's character, he doesn't actually sound terrified. He's like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Like he spins because he hears him. He's already 4 feet from him, with the axe up. He's like, ah! And then next scene.
Yeah. And this is the part where she just drives by and happens to see him. She's like, yeah, I think I'll be headed home soon. Oh, hey, here's the Sierra. There's the car. That's the car I've been looking for.
Yeah, Marge drives to Moose Lake, tipped off by a local bartender who overheard a customer brag about killing someone. Because they were like, oh, you're going to this lake. And she's like, no, Moose Lake's closest. Yeah. She's like, I'm going to that one first. And I'm like, how are you in radio contact?
Good question. Because they're in another state, right?
No, they should also be in Minnesota.
Oh.
Or North Dakota. I don't know where they are at this point. They're around.
They're up north. All you northerners look alike.
They're in unincorporated Canada. That's where they're at. So she sees, and it's like she's just out there. It's like with a little revolver, and it's like it's the pregnant woman. Because that's when she finds putting Steve Buscemi through the wood chipper in pieces. Because she looks and you just see this foot,
That was fun.
and he's like
He's trying to push it down in there. Yeah. And then the whole time she's like, freeze! And he can't hear her.
You can't hear her. She's like, police, freeze! And then he looks up like, someone say something. And he looks and sees her. He's like, huh.
Starts running across a frozen lake. Where are you going?
I know. And then she shoots him in the leg and I'm like, how'd you arrest him? He's killed multiple people.
Yeah, I mean, and he just runs from her. I don't understand.
It's Marge Gunderson.
It's just very convenient.
I feel like a lot of it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. A lot of it was convenient. So she arrests him, and then shortly after, Jerry's arrested by the state troopers at a motel outside Bismarck, North Dakota. Which was funny. It's like, hey, Mr. Anderson, is this your car? And he's like, oh, yeah, be a minute. And then, the cops, it was like warrants. It was funny because the 2 cops pulled their guns and the office manager just quietly puts the key in the locker and steps off and they're just like boom and he's just like no.
He's screaming and crying as they hold him down.
He's just on the bed in his pants just with his hands behind his back.
That seemed really true to life. They started yelling and crying.
Yeah, I was like, that's real. That's good acting. That's why you're playing that character, William H. Macy. Marge's husband, Norm, tells her the Postal Service has selected his painting of a mallard for a 3-cent postage stamp and complains that the Hauptmann brothers painting won the competition for a 29-cent stamp. Marge reminds him that the smaller denomination stamps make up the difference between the face value of old stamps and the new cost of first-class postage. Norm is reassured, and the couple happily anticipates the birth of their child.
Yeah, because that was important to the movie.
I know. It's just that's just all this murder, subterfuge, plots to kidnap people. People get put through wood chippers and it ends and they're just in bed.
Yeah. This is a stupid movie.
This is a stupid movie.
I've seen a lot of people oh yeah, it's won awards. Oh, this movie's great. Mm-hmm. This movie sucked.
This is not a Mitch approved film.
No, I was like, why am I watching this?
Let's see. It's got an 8.8 out of 10 on it.
Yeah, I know.
And it's got a 95% on Rotten Tomatoes.
And I don't understand. I mean, like I said, the acting was fine. The plot makes sense. It's just the way everything went about. I was just like, this is dumb.
Trying to see if there's any awards.
I'm pretty sure it won some kind of award.
Okay. Frances McDormand won Best Actress.
Yeah, exactly.
At the Academy Awards. Best Original Screenplay for the Coen Brothers. They won.
Why?
Dude, it was 1997. Like, what was the competition?
Armageddon.
You and I both know. What else? What other awards? Best Direction, Joel Coen. He won a BAFTA.
Why? For what?
Cannes Film Festival. Best Director, Joel Coen won. Fargo won. Critics' Choice Awards. Best Picture, Best Actress. They won.
Okay, first of all, this movie went up against Turbo, a Power Rangers movie, and Batman and Robin.
Once he said, I was like, Power. I was like, it didn't go up against Mighty Morphin. Then you're like, Turbo. I was like, oh, yeah, Turbo was not great.
Let's see. There was The Lost World, Event Horizon, Dante's Peak, Volcano, Spawn, Wild America, Con Air, Liar Liar, Beverly Hills Ninja. Yeah, it didn't have a whole lot of
no, the competition was not tight that year.
Did have Flubber in The Fifth Element and G.I. Jane. Air Force One.
Get off my plane.
Let's see. I Know What You Did Last Summer. Gone Fishing. Speed 2. Starship Troopers. That's pretty much it. Oh, The Devil's Advocate was that year too.
Yeah. Oh, if you go to the production notes for the movie on Wikipedia at the bottom, the accent, they're like, it was like an unofficial cast member. It's like locals reported that to this day, tourists still request people to say, yeah, you betcha. They're like, the accent was just another character.
It was a little much. I got tired of it real quick.
They had to teach McDormand Minnesota nice and the characteristic head nodding to show agreement when someone's talking to you.
Let's see. The movie, the budget was $7 million and it ended up making $60 million. So, I mean, it did all right for money.
Yeah, it didn't do.
I just didn't like it.
I liked it, but I'm not going to be like, oh, Fargo. Like, I need to watch Fargo. Like, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything to write home about.
I've seen it now. I never have to watch it again.
It is just one of those, you got to see it.
It does say that the role of Carl Showalter was written specifically for Buscemi, though.
I believe that. He had a big run of movies in the 90s.
It says the Coens have described Minnesota as Siberia with family restaurants.
Yeah, because they go to like some place. I can't remember the name of the restaurant that they went to, but it was like buffet style. And she has this like huge tray just loaded up. And I think another cop comes in. And it's like, oh, Margie. She's like, oh, hey there. He's like, how's the fricassee today? She's like, I don't know. I haven't tried it yet. Let's see. I'm trying to look and see what 90s Buscemi movies he did. Because I remember he did a lot in the 90s. Let's see. How many of these do I know? Reservoir Dogs, I guess, was bigger first one. Pulp Fiction. I don't know he was in Pulp Fiction.
Says Harv Presnell hadn't made a movie in 20 years when he got cast as Wade.
Billy Madison. He's in Escape from LA.
Is he?
Wow, I didn't know that. Con Air, The Big Lebowski, The Wedding Singer, Armageddon, Big Daddy.
Anything with
Adam Sandler.
Yeah.
Yeah, anything with Adam Sandler. Forgot he's in The Big Lebowski. That's another, like, just quintessential. Just you have to see it once.
That's a funny movie though.
It's funnier than Fargo.
Be the dude.
Just drinking his White Russians.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's reasoning behind other people liking the movie, but it was not something I care to watch again. And I mean, there was funny parts, but in the end, I was like, yeah.
Because the end really just kind of picks up where it's just like, all right, Steve Buscemi gets shot, then he gets killed by Gare. And then Gare's putting him through a woodchipper. He can't hear the cops yelling at him.
Well, like the premise that this pregnant officer just happens upon all this information, makes like the Blues Clues person look like they struggle more than she did. Trying to find information.
Because a lot of it was just kind of like, I mean, I guess it's just pure luck. Because she goes to the crime scene, immediately deduces like pretty much what happened.
Yeah.
Like exactly. Like she was there. And figures out. And I don't know if she's like actually like the chief of the police or something. Because everybody just comes to like see her. So I'm assuming she's in charge.
I guess. But I don't know why she would be out there 7 months pregnant doing stuff either.
I know. Which is, I guess also in a way, it's funny.
I wonder what happened to the kid of Jerry and...
Yeah, what happened to that kid?
Because they never mentioned that either. Because now
The potty mouth kid.
He's lost his granddad and his mom and dad. Or and his mom. Yeah, mom and dad.
Yeah, grandpa and mom, dead. Dad, prison for the rest of his life. Oh, jeez. You hate to see it. Yeah, you betcha. You betcha, yeah. Jingle my bells.
There should have been like something at the end of like the credits where somebody just happens upon the money, like next to that fence one day.
I know, just like so. It's like, oh,
look at there.
Looks around. Oh, gee. Oh, Dad. That'd be funny.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Buscemi's character was probably the most entertaining of the whole movie.
Like when they're driving, and he's like. Pearson Bear's like all this like says nothing, and he's just like he's like no, and he's like wow 8 hours in the car, that's the first thing. No man, what a conversationalist. And then he's like arguing with him that like he's like I'll give you the culture, I'm not gonna say nothing, as he keeps telling him he's not gonna say anything.
He just kept talking.
He's still talking, and he's just like sitting there because like where he's beating up the TV when they're in the cabin because it wouldn't work, and Pearson Bear's just like staring at him. It's like oh yeah, he's gonna kill you. Like, you're going to die.
Yeah. Well, I don't really have anything else for this. It was a movie.
It was a film, and we watched it.
I blame you, Tom.
I blame me, too.
Had you seen this before that?
I just seen, like, bits.
Oh, okay.
And the bits I saw the deal where Carl kills Wade. Mm-hmm. Like, I saw that, and I was like, oh, there's some killing. The woodchipper scene, I'd seen that. And then... I think when they get pulled over, like I'd seen like those bits and like maybe a part where Jerry's at like the dealership, like, oh, jeez. The true code. That's what you want. I don't want that. Yeah, where those customers are like cursing him out. It's like, you said we didn't have to pay for it. He's like, let me talk to my boss.
Okay, then he goes in there just like all car dealers, doesn't talk anything about that. He's just like, hey, what are you doing this weekend? Yeah. We'll do what we can do when he gets back in there.
He's like, all right. He's like, this has never happened. He's like, I can take off $100. And the guy just like, he's like cursing him out. His wife's like, oh my God. And he's like, get the checkbook.
Yeah, they just give the money. It's like, why? I don't know.
And I'm like, nobody wants that true code crap.
Yeah.
Because like the one dude's at the dealership looking at it. And he's like, oh, let me tell you about the true. He's like, don't want it. He's like, it protects the paint.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell you this. One thing to entertain this podcast is not going to do is just go along with the critics.
Yeah, we will tell you we did not like something.
Despite what their ratings are.
Yeah, 95% Rotten Tomatoes. We're the 5%.
He's going to come back and be like, let me tell you why it was a good movie.
Let me scientifically explain this to you, because you two are dumb. Let me show you this. Let me tell you why you're wrong.
Yeah. Well, that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, big gulps. See you later.
All right, well, see you later.
I don't know why I'm talking. Oh, Daddy.